Hi everyone, welcome to Top 5 America's Next Top Model Facts You Didn't Know Part 1. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel as we post videos about America's Next Top Model every week. Number 5. When Victoria Marshman was eliminated from America's Next Top Model Cycle 9,
you're abrasive, you talk back, if you're snappy,
she began to take off her high-heeled shoes, likely because they were uncomfortable. Allegedly, Tyra Banks thought Victoria was about to launch her shoes at her and called security on her, prompting an extremely uncomfortable misunderstanding just before her exit. Unsurprisingly, America's Next Top Model decided not to air this wildly awkward moment and edited the elimination to appear friendly and normal. Before I move on to number 9, I just want to say, I completely sympathize with Victoria. I feel like a lot of people, especially younger people, tend to be a little bit socially awkward, maybe a little monotone when they speak. And I'm saying this as someone who experienced this firsthand. Sometimes whenever we're talking, because we're so monotone, so much of what we say gets misinterpreted as being abrasive or being sarcastic or being rude. I feel like Victoria was completely misunderstood on her cycle because of this. She was just a little bit more monotone in the way she speaks. She could have easily just been shy, and I just feel really bad for Victoria because, like, I would hate to exit the show like that. But I'm glad that they didn't air this. Number 4. After Monique from Cycle 7 was eliminated,
she's just a stupid little bitch.
People that gotta pay their apartment, and you don't know what the hell I'm on the phone talking about.
Anchal from the same cycle claimed she took hours to finish packing and do her exit interviews, causing the other contestants to need to wait in their limo for hours. Anchal said Monique took so long that girls were peeing outside the limo. Do you think Monique did this on purpose? Make sure to comment your thoughts about this, but I just want to say, I get, it's a show and there are rules. I guess the girls are not allowed to go into the house until the eliminated contestant is out of the house. I get it. Like, that's probably just, protocol. But I feel like for girls to have supposedly had to urinate on the street, like, at that point, like, you might as well just let them into the house really quick, and, like, have them be on ice for a second or something so that there's no interaction between the girls and the eliminated contestant. Like, I just feel like it's a little excessive to have someone urinate, outside. Number 3. Many America's Next Top Model fans noticed elimination order clues in the opening credits of the show on a few different cycles. The most known example that many viewers noticed was that the runner-up was placed first in the opening credits in cycles 6 through 10.
Cycle 6, Joni. Cycle 7, Melrose. Cycle 8, Natasha. Cycle 9, Chantal. Cycle 10, Anya.
Do you think this was a coincidence or intentional? Are there any other secret clues editors put into the show that you noticed? Please make sure to comment these as well. Number 2. In Cycle 12's makeover episode, fans were left confused when the show presented after photos that looked different from the show's typical glamorous makeover photos. In addition, makeover photos shown at the start of the episode didn't match the ones shown at the end during the fade-out. Soon after this, Tyra Banks explained on her talk show that a production error caused each model's first frame to be shown on the episode in its raw, unedited format. I remember this. I perfectly remember this. I was a kid watching, and back then I was super into editing and, like, video editing, and I was obsessed with the editing that America's Next Top Model did, like the editing on their show, their opening credits. Like, I was so impressed by their work, and it really, really inspired me to do my own video edits. And back then I had this weird, like, I don't know, complex, I guess you can say, that anything America's Next Top Model edits, anything they do editing aesthetic-wise is beautiful. Like, it's perfect. They can't go wrong. So when I saw these photos, imagine me in my young mind, I was like in middle school back then, I was thinking, like, wow, like, that's so interesting. Like, they're doing a new look on these photos. Like, I had no idea that this was unintentional. And then back then, because I was like the Top Model super fan, Tyra Banks super fan, I was also watching the Tyra Banks show every single day. And I remember it was maybe a few days later or a few weeks later, on her talk shows, like she randomly on this segment brought up these photos and said that it was a production error and that it won't happen again. And I was like, no way. Like, then I looked into it and realized we never saw those photos again. It was just on the makeover episode. Anyway, number 1. The models in Cycle 3 experienced a 3-day delay en route to Japan because Japanese officials thought they were prostitutes. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Anne Markley explained how she was stuck in Guam en route to Japan. Anne said, "We looked like hookers, no doubt," reflecting on the moment the cast was detained after their multi-hour flights from New York City to Tokyo, where they were set to film the conclusion of the season in mid-2004. Anne explained that she and the other models thought the detainment was fake and that it was just a test from production to see who would break, but that they realized it was real when Japan refused entry to one of the show's stylists who was with them and sent the stylist back to the United States. Quote, "I called my mom from a payphone in Guam and was telling her what happened. At the time I was 19 and it was kind of scary, and it was the first time during filming that I was like, am I safe?" explains Anne. Quote, "Until then we felt cared for, and that was the first time I was like, I need to tell my mom where I am." I find it so interesting that America's Next Top Model didn't air this. I wonder why. Like, knowing America's Next Top Model now after so many cycles, I feel like this would have been something that would for sure have been included. Like, this would have been like reality TV gold. Like, you can't plan this stuff. I wonder why they didn't show it. I would have been really curious to see it, like see this unfold. And I believe in an interview with Oliver Twixt, Jay Manuel, the art director, he was saying that the first photo shoot that they did in Japan, not photo shoot, it was a commercial, was not what they were supposed to do originally, that there was something else planned, something much more planned out. I don't know if it was a photo shoot or what, but I guess they didn't make it to Japan to carry out that original shoot, logistics wise, and so at the last minute they had to come up with something else, and that this commercial was made at the last minute, and the outfits that they were wearing during the commercial were, I believe Jay said, was the robes from the hotel. Could you imagine the stress of a situation like that, like having to come up with something? Like, I really sympathize with that. And that is all. That was the top 5 America's Next Top Model facts you didn't know part 1. If there are any facts or information that you would like to be included in the part 2 video, please don't hesitate to leave a comment, but please make sure to include a citation or some sort of valid source. Please leave a comment about your thoughts as well. Was any of this news to you? Did you know any of this already? What are your ideas? And before concluding, we would also like to mention that this is a hate-free channel. Nothing in this video or on this channel is intended to incite any hatred against anyone. Everything is in good fun and good humor, and it's just interesting for many of us who grew up watching America's Next Top Model to discuss the show. Again, this is a fun video, and please be aware of that before commenting. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next one. Take care.